Hello and welcome to Heart Talk India. The Nagas have always claimed they are not a part of India, and in fact they believe they got their independence a day before the rest of the country, which means of course that the Naga insurgency is perhaps the longest running secessionist struggle that the Indian government has to contend with. But in 1997, after decades of bitter fighting, the two sides declared a ceasefire, and over the last 8 years they've had 41 rounds of talks. So where do things stand today? That's the key question I shall put to the leader of the biggest Naga outfit, the General Secretary of the National Socialist Council of Nagaland, th.muivah. Mr. Muivah, on the 21st of March, your colleague Isaac Swu, the chairman of the NSCN, said in a statement to mark Naga Independence Day, there is a time when fighting for a good cause is a must, and there is also a time when negotiation is unavoidable. He added, now we have come to the stage of political negotiation. The Naga people should be wise to seize this finest opportunity for finding an amicable solution. Does this mean that the time is ripe for settlement of the Naga issue with India?
You're right. Because, in the past, the Indian leadership did never care to understand the Nagas. So fighting started because they sent troops and occupied Nagaland. But now they say that, no, it is not military solution. That would be possible, but through political talks. So if it is so, why not?
Now you refer to a change in the attitude of the Indian leadership. How much of that was brought about by the decision of the Vajpayee government to recognize the unique identity and history of the Naga people?
It has given a good wave of understanding, and it serves a lot of purpose there in Nagaland. Why? Because this is the first time in the history that the leaders or the government of India has recognized the uniqueness of Naga history. This had been done long before, since, but that was not done. But now, the uniqueness of Naga history is clear. The situation is also clear. So it is a good chance for every one of us to seek solution.
Now, as I said, you've had 8 rounds of talks since December when you came to India. You've had 41 rounds since 1997 when the ceasefire was declared. Are the two sides coming closer together?
Yes, that can be assumed, because from our side also, we have started taking steps, initiatives to come closer, because government of India has also recognized the unique history of the Nagas. So that should be the point, see to come closer towards each other.
So after they recognize the unique history, you two are responding in a similar way?
Yeah.
And the talks are actually making progress?
It is making progress in the sense that when Mr. Vajpayee's government recognized the uniqueness of Naga history, we also accepted his invitation to come to India. Actually, so far as the talk is concerned, it had to be somewhere outside India. But since they have recognized positively the uniqueness of Naga history, we should also honor them and reciprocate. So we did that. So we accepted his invitation to come to India.
Let me try and understand your present position. I believe that over the last 8 years from 1997, you no longer stress your traditional demand for sovereignty. Instead, you are now asking for, to use your words, a special federal relationship with India. Is that right?
But here the question is, sovereignty of the Naga people belongs to the Naga people, and to the Naga people alone. That cannot be otherwise. So Nagas have the right to decide their future, to determine their fate also. So long as that is there, of course, adjustment can be made.
But you are, in your negotiations with the Indian government, at the moment talking about a special federal relationship with India.
The problem is this. So long as the national identity of Nagas are recognized and honored, that is possible.
So as long as the uniqueness of Naga identity is recognized and honored, a special federal relationship is possible.
When we say federal special federal relationship, it has to be on the terms of the agreement
Quite right.
that can be arrived at.
On the terms of the agreement that can be arrived at.
Yeah.
Let's explore, in a sense, what sort of agreement can be arrived at. When you talk about a special federal relationship with India, are you in fact talking of a special federal position within the Indian Constitution?
No, it should be Federation of India and Nagaland.
A federation of India and Nagaland,
Yeah.
but not a special federal position within the Indian Constitution.
No, within the Indian Constitution, that is not possible.
But a special federal relationship between the two is possible.
Yes.
Now, in this special federal relationship, what sort of powers would lie with the government in Delhi?
No, it is in the process of working out. So it may be a little bit too early on my part to make elaboration on that.
It's been said that the areas or subjects that you're talking about where Delhi could have control would be defense, external affairs, communication, currency. Am I wrong?
Yeah, in some aspect, you're right.
In some aspects, I'm right.
Yes.
Without
Right.
wanting to confirm it, I am in some aspects right.
But yes, you're right. But we haven't yet settled those questions.
Quite right. They aren't settled,
Mm.
but that's a possibility.
No. You know, when we talk about defense, we have to say that Nagaland must be defended jointly in the events of external threat. That is possible. Why? Because, you know, if Nagaland would be in danger, naturally the security of India would also be threatened. And we appreciate that. That is why...
Would a joint defense agreement apply the other way around? If India were under threat, would Nagaland come to India's defense as well?
That is not the case.
That is not the case.
Supposing there's a war or confrontation between India and other countries, Naga should not be under the obligation to join forces with India.
Not an obligation, but under the terms of an agreement that you arrive at, the option could be open.
Here the point is joint defense only Nagaland.
Joint defense only of Nagaland.
Nagaland.
But you are saying that the other areas I mentioned, external affairs, currency, communication, those are areas where you're thinking of the possibility that Delhi could be in control.
We have already made our position very clear about this also. So far as external affairs are concerned, primarily government of India should have them.
Primarily government of India.
Yes. But whenever the interests of the Nagas are affected, Naga should also represent.
Okay.